welcome to Seeitsayitpodcast. My name is Shukrat Baligun and I am your host. Thanks for tuning in, and this is episode 1. The title of today's episode is Are Men Setting Threshold for Women in a Relationship? Or perhaps women are limiting their potential? I am pleased to be with my co-host who will be addressing the topic, putting into consideration various trends and what's happening in today's world. Before we commence with today's episode, just a reminder that you can show us your support by subscribing to our YouTube channel and also following us on our social media platforms. Without further ado, sitting next to me is...
Hi, my name is Dorcas Adeyemi. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So,
not too bad. Just here. What's I going to say now? Do you have any New Year resolution at all?
yes, I do. I do have a lot of plans for 2024. But however, like I always say, I just pray that God ordain our steps into greatness.
I have resolutions. I don't believe in resolutions anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy. Because you know what I've learned is just take life as it comes.
Things happen.
I do have goals though, like let's say I do want to start going to the gym this year. I want to do more reading.
Oh, well, that's
all the
great.
books that I've read, they bought me. I need to eventually start reading it. So
that's
a book
good.
a month. That's the plan.
Oh, that's
the
good.
plan.
That's good. I love reading as well, but with kids around,
Maybe you can start a book club.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, that would be nice.
You never know.
That would be nice, actually. I do love reading as well, but it's just that because of the kids. Maybe if I'm all alone by myself, and the kids are not there, then it's fine.
Yeah,
but otherwise, it's a bit of a trouble trying to.
Just a bit of escapism.
Yes,
I don't know.
Exactly.
We need it. We need it.
Of course, we do.
Yeah. But yeah.
So, what do you think about the topic? Are men setting thresholds for women in a relationship, or perhaps women are limiting their potential? What do you think?
So what do I think? So it would be a yes and no for me.
Okay.
No, in terms of are men setting threshold? No, because some things are just expected of women.
Okay,
and
in the society we live in.
In the society that we live in. And that's why I said people aren't consciously doing it. So they're not consciously setting thresholds that would affect any career. In terms of career expectations, some people aren't doing it. My reason, because and obviously everyone knows this reason, if you give birth, obviously in a modern society things have changed. However, ladies would take XY amount of time from career. Mm-hmm. It does affect the woman's career, which we don't know. Mm-hmm. So that was my answer. That's my reasons for saying no. Okay. However, some relationship, a big fat yes. Some men do set threshold for their partner because of whatever reasons best known to them. When I say examples of my reasons would be they don't want the woman to be in control.
Oh, I get you.
In the relationship, so it would be, okay, I don't want you to be better than me.
That's all you're saying. Some men might feel threatened.
Yeah. I'm speaking as a Nigerian Yoruba.
Yeah. I do understand where you're coming from. We'll put Yoruba, by the way. Yeah, I do understand where you're coming from. But for me, I have a very different perspective to this. And this is because I would say as individuals, one of the things that shape us as individuals is our background and our environment. So if we look at it from this way, if while growing up, you grew up in a household whereby your mom was not. I'm not talking about you, by the way. Sorry. You grew up in an household whereby your mom is not allowed to work. Your dad is the only one going in search of daily bread. Obviously, as an individual, as a man, you would subconsciously emulate that, and then you wouldn't want your partner to. You want your partner to also be a stay-at-home person. But if you grew up in a household whereby your mom was allowed to work, your dad did his thing, and in fact your dad was very supportive of your mom, then you definitely have this mentality of, okay, my partner would support me. I'm there to lead as a man, however, my partner would support me. for the topic, I meant setting thresholds for women, or perhaps women are limiting their potential. I'm more drawn to say yes. Some men do set thresholds for their partner, and also some women individually decide to limit their potential. But this comes up as something that they don't do consciously, and I'll give my examples. So let's say, for example, as a man, the African mentality is I am the leader, I am the provider.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Of course.
I think most women would actually pray for their partner to be more successful. To be more successful. No, hold on a second. To be more, no, hold on.
To be successful.
Hold on. To be more successful. And I'll say why. Okay. So some women will pray for their husband to be more successful because the man is the forefront, is the one leading the family. Do you understand? So you want to make sure that the person who is at the forefront is more successful. That does not mean that the other person who is the partner is not successful as well. Just more successful. And I would just hold on, because I can see you're about to bust. Just hold on. To be more successful. No. The reason I said this is because I found myself in that situation. If I'm praying, I would say I would want my husband to be more successful. That does not mean I'm not going to be successful as well. I'm going to pray for myself to be as successful as my partner. But however, what I'm saying is that because the man has that leadership role, do you understand? He's the one providing. I wouldn't want to say, I wouldn't want to say the person providing shouldn't be more, because he needs to provide more.
Do you not think that just contradicts you saying, yes, men do so? Because if you're thinking they're the leader.
No. Hold on a second. No. Hold on a second.
Okay.
I'm trying to get somewhere.
Sorry.
Remember, I said if you grew up in a family whereby the father was the main provider and the mother was a stay-at-home person, you would automatically have that mentality of this is how I want my own family to be. And if you grew up in a family like mine whereby your dad supports your mom, you understand, and your dad is still the leader, then you automatically have that mindset of okay, yes, I would want this type of I'll have this type of expectation of my partner. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that subconsciously you would want your partner to lead. Do you understand? You want your man to lead.
To be the provider.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Yes, not. So look at you now. If you're saying you want a man to be the provider.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That means he should have more financially compared to you, because I see no sense in. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. No. This is me talking. Anyway, this is me talking personally.
That's your view.
If you want someone to provide for you, you would want that person to have more than you have, because what's the need for that's just me. Do you understand? Because why would you say you want someone to provide for you? You can provide for yourself, but you want that person to still provide for you. So that person has to have times 2 or times 3 of what you have in order for them to be able to meet your needs. More lean towards saying that, yes, some men are actually setting thresholds for their partner. And yes, some women are actually limiting their potential. So if we take a look at it now, we have 2 people, a man and a woman. They are married, right? And maybe prior to them getting married, the man has always wanted to be a teacher, and then the partner doesn't really have any goal as at the moment. Maybe she's looking forward to getting pregnant, being a mom. That's her goal for now. So now the man is doing his own thing. The lady's pregnant. Fast forward, she gave birth, and then she's taking her time to look after the home, look after the husband, look after the child, and then now the child is of, let's say, school age. Okay. So now this is where my problem. This is where my problem is. So now the woman now wants to start setting goals for herself. Now has aspiration. Do you understand? And then the husband is now saying, no, you can't do that. I want you to stay home and look after the family just like you've been doing. Because he's gotten so comfortable with her.
Which there's nothing wrong.
There's a lot of things wrong in him getting comfortable with her. No, hold on a second. There's a lot of things wrong with him getting comfortable with her staying at home, looking after the children or looking after the child. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying a woman staying at home looking after the child is wrong, but a man getting too comfortable with that is very, very wrong, because now the woman now wants to start going in pursuit of our own goal. Maybe it might not even be her even having a career. It might just be a situation of, you know what, I want to go back to school. Do you understand? I want to go and do my master's. Do you understand? Exactly. And then the man now sees it as a threat and says, no, you know what, I need you to stay at home, look after our child, just like you've always done. This is where the problem comes in. And the society that we live in now is not also helping, because I'm African, you're African. African mentality, the African mentality states a man is the provider. The African mentality states a woman should stay at home, look after the home, look after the husband, look after the children. The African mentality does not state that at some point in a woman's life, a woman would want to go in pursuit of her own goal, go in pursuit of her own career. And this is where we as individuals, we need to start letting men understand that we might venture into a relationship now, but that does not mean that at some point in time, I wouldn't grow. I wouldn't want to go in pursuit of this. I wouldn't want to go in pursuit of that. And if you try to set me back, it might be a problem in the relationship.
Really?
Yeah. We need to start doing that, actually.
I know you do say Africans, but I feel like some people, like in the modern relationship now, things are changing. I would like to believe that. Like, I can only say that for like the circle I am within, and like modern relations, what you see on social media. And like, you have the feminists now, we have like all this gender equality.
Yeah,
things are changing. Yeah. Things are changing now. That's why initially I did say some people aren't certain threshold, because now we have women that are ready to thrive more. Guys, which I do know, comfortable with whatever it is they have, and they want the woman to even surpass them.
I totally do agree with you, but I would also say this: the society that we live in now, and I see something that doesn't sit well with me as an individual on Instagram, and I also do have personal stories because I work in the higher education sector. If you remember the other day, I said to you, I had a client whereby she wanted to go in pursuit of a master's degree, and her husband said no, as in N-O, capital no. You're not allowed to question him. You're not allowed to ask the reason why. And I didn't even know the advice to give this person, because I felt like I'm very, very sure that there's more to it. But what just baffles me is that why should anyone stop you from wanting to better yourself? Because I feel like I don't know the full story. I don't know the back end to that story, because I see this becoming a trend more often in men. Some men, actually, not all men. There are men out there that are very, very supportive of their wife. In fact, they'll be the one helping you to check out for master's courses or short courses that you can do on Coursera.
That
you can do on Coursera. They'll be like, "Hi, babe, I just saw this data.
Kind of
I just saw this data.
Exactly.
I just saw this data analytics course on Coursera. Do you have interest in it? Oh, okay. There's a networking event happening in this place. Oh, do you want to go? Do you want me to look after the kids while I go?" Yeah, those are supportive men that they would go the extra mile for their partner. However, there are some sets of men whereby immediately they see the signs that their woman is trying or even making an attempt to better herself just an inch. It becomes, this is not a competition.
It's an inferior.
It becomes this is not a competition. It becomes, you're following the wrong set of it.
Your friends.
Exactly.
You met new people.
Exactly. So it becomes a trend of, what sort of people are you talking with? I want to know the set of people you're talking with when I'm not around.
From ego,
exactly.
Like,
and
I'm
like, excuse me, how does someone trying to better themselves, what does that have to even do with the set of friends that person is mingling
because
with?
they think you don't have a mind of your own.
And I'm like, it's a no.
But men always think, I feel like some men, I think I'm going to emphasize on some men.
Yeah, some men
do think a lady, or some ladies don't have a mind of their own. But then again, we can, in regards to like ladies limiting their potential, like you said earlier, some people go into marriages or relationship not identifying themselves.
Yeah, and this is the next thing I was actually gonna speak about. So it's very, very important that when venturing into a relationship, you have to communicate each other's expectation.
And
understand?
Be open to change.
Exactly.
That's one thing I would even emphasize or make it very important for myself as well, or wherever it is that I talk to friends, family, younger ones, that let your partner know that changes can occur. You can go through a life experience that can make you change what you want for yourself. During that relationship, that just makes you realize that, no, you know what, I want to take a step back in my career and,
do other things,
or just want to be a stay-at-home mom. Yeah. Things do happen.
And I always say this, just like we said before, prior to the podcast session. And I always say this. I think some men are afraid of growth in their partner because they believe that the growth would be a threat in the relationship.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of this comes from, just like you said, inferiority complex.
It does.
Ego. Because if we take a look at it, there's absolutely nothing wrong in me saying, I am Mr. Balogun and I am a doctor, and this is Mrs. Balogun and she's a doctor. Mm-hmm. Or this is Mrs. Balogun, she's a doctor, and I am Mr. Balogun, I am a teacher. Or perhaps,
there's nothing absolutely wrong.
This is Mr. Balogun and I'm a bus driver, and this is Mrs. Balogun.
She's a doctor.
There's absolutely nothing. Exactly, there's absolutely nothing wrong in that at all, as long as you both are supporting one another. Because at the end of the day, I believe that when you're married, both of you have individual goals, and you also do have goals for the family. Yeah. The individual goals, I can support. If you're my husband, I can support you to achieve your individual goals. Mm-hmm. You should be able to support me as well in achieving my individual goals.
Because it betters us. Exactly. It betters us and the children that we raise.
And again, you would even be able to achieve that goal faster as compared to working in isolation and be like, you know what, I'm just going to do my thing. You do your thing. Do you understand? We're going to meet halfway or whatever.
While you were speaking, sorry to interrupt, something just popped into my head. I feel like some men, the men that we're talking about that set threshold, could be because they've seen benefit in their parents, for example, or whatever influenced them into making that kind of step. Okay. They've seen benefit in it. So I'll give you an example. So let's say this is not me. My father was a provider. My mom, a stay-at-home mom, worked very well. Okay. For that family.
Yeah.
That man or that boy, or let's say me this is a bad example.
I understand.
The child saw a benefit, the mom might not be happy, or she might say it's content. So that boy or that child, for example, grew up thinking, if my dad was the provider, he was aiming at, my mom was comfortable raising us. So why as a lady, as my wife now, why do you want more?
Exactly.
Do you understand what I mean? So sometimes it's just like influences or like the environment that we are in that makes these people like that. Not that I'm saying it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Because that post, sorry, because I feel like if I don't say
No, it's fine.
So like that post on Instagram, for example, what the man did, totally wrong. You should not kill anyone because of anything.
Totally.
I didn't read it because I feel like when I read too much into this thing, it affects me, and I feel I'm very naive. I like thinking this world is perfect, everything's good, no one wants bad for me. That's the kind of thing. So I try not to
I get
absorb so much. But what he did is wrong.
Totally wrong.
But why is he thinking that way? Why did he think that way?
That's why I said the environment you grow up in and your immediate environment shapes you as an individual. And also just to add to what you said, your example. So if someone grows up in a family whereby the man was the main provider and the man saw the benefits, one of the benefits would also be, I understand this your example perfectly. One of the benefit could be that the mother stayed at home, had to look after the children dedicated at time. Do you understand? Because the father was not there. So there was someone, especially if you're living in the UK or living abroad, you need one parent to work. Hold on a second. You need one parent to be more, do you understand, available for the children. Hold on a second. Yeah. As compared to having two parents on the ground. Because look at it.
We love bills.
I thought it was that it's already saying.
You know that letter when it comes. Yeah, so, British guys.
Exactly. Yeah. There's bills. The bills are waiting. Council tax.
They don't
rent,
care if you're still at
electricity.
Home
do you understand? So I understand the fact whereby the benefit associated with being a stay-at-home mom. Do you understand? Because you have
cheaper
more time.
Childcare.
You understand? You
That's
have exactly. You have more time to, and you be in full control of your child's life as well. So I do understand the benefit associated with that. However, if a stay-at-home mom now says, you know what, I've looked after these children, they are of school age now, and I would like to venture into this business, or perhaps I would like to go in pursuit of this course. I would like to do this, I would like to do that. I believe that the partner should support, most especially because that woman has dedicated most of her own time and her life looking after the children. There's absolutely nothing wrong in it. And this is where it comes to communicated expectations. If you communicate your expectations of one another prior to venturing into relationship, be it married or whichever type of relationship it is, I think the less problems you have there.
Yeah.
Less problem you have.
Yeah, let me just change this conversation. Let's say, because I feel like the conversations, and I think I started it with children.
Yeah.
Because I've not me. Sorry, I have a child. There are relationships that no children involved.
Yeah, no children involved. Yeah. Then that even makes the situation even worse.
The guy did say, I know the lady, she came into the country at that point. You know how it is coming into the country. He brought the wife to the country.
Okay.
Obviously, things were a bit edgy at the beginning. Along the way, everything sorted. She was able to work. Then the guy saw the lady as a threat because now she has her papers. And I feel like situation can make people change. So obviously she has the papers. She met new people. She wanted to grow as a person. Then the guy said, no, I brought you all the way from Nigeria to be my wife.
Okay.
You're not supposed to aim high.
Really?
And you know, like, that's how so sometimes we use like children, but it was in this situation, it was very tricky one.
And it's even good that you brought up this example.
Because the lady left eventually. She left that relationship.
Of course. And I would say this.
But
she would leave. She would leave. Again, this comes down to communicated expectations.
He wanted the lady to be, I think she was working in a shop or something, you know, like a porter. Kitchen porter. And I think the lady wanted to go back to school.
Okay.
And wanted something more.
And then you said,
he said no.
Happy to end all.
The money that we are earning as a family is all right. But however, the guy was, I'm not too sure what his job is. Now ladies don't really share what their job is.
To be honest, we don't even really need to even know much about that story, and I'll tell you why.
But it was very sad to actually see that man said,
and she left.
She left. Obviously, it was a really bad one. It was when she left that she told me the story. But it's just like,
and to be honest, I don't know much about this person. Obviously, you are the one that knows this person. But what I wanted to say, this is where it comes down to communicated expectation. So if this man had said, you know what, I'm bringing you from Nigeria to come into the UK as my wife, do you understand? However, you won't be working. This would have been an opportunity for the lady to reassess her options and decide, do I want to venture into a relationship? Even if the man is very, very rich, she still has the right to say, you know what, I don't think this would work for me as an individual. And I'm gonna say this. There's this post I also saw on Instagram, right? So what happened was the woman was giving a thankful post. She was crying and saying thank God for her life and all of that. She was in a relationship whereby her husband had everything. Her husband was filthy rich. Her husband provided every single thing she needed, and
Love it.
And her husband provided every single thing the children needed as well. But one problem in the relationship was she said she wanted to work. She wanted to have something of her own. It could be her starting a business, or it could be her going in pursuit of a career. And the husband said no. And at some point in the relationship, she had to step back. Despite the fact that they had children, she had children in the relationship. She had to leave the relationship. She had to leave the marriage, and I think she has 3 boys. She had to leave the relationship. She said she had 3 boys, I think. She had to leave the relationship. And she came out, and the caption of the post was that my ex was a very loving man. He had everything a woman would want in a man. However, the only problem in the relationship was he just wanted me to stay at home, look after the children.
Because it can get boring.
Look after the home, look after the children. And that's not what I want for myself as an individual. And now, this lady, she's moved to the UK now.
Okay.
She has her own businesses, and she was able to move her children also from Nigeria to the UK. They're in good terms. They're actually in good terms. They're actually in good terms. But it's just that she was just grateful that she was able to start all by herself. The man didn't support her when she left the relationship. She actually stated it there that he didn't support her when she left the relationship. So she had to build herself all the way from scratch. And now she's grateful for the gift of life. She's grateful that she's able to support her children.
Because I do, like, it would be nice. Like, I do encourage even both men and women to always, like, want better for your partner. Because it just helps. It helps. If I'm working, if I'm a doctor and my partner is a doctor, it just helps.
Exactly.
They would not be,
and the children
would grow seeing this.
Exactly. The children would grow to see that, oh, my dad was ambitious. My mom was ambitious. And my mom was ambitious as well. For me as an individual, and I'll say this real case, for me as an individual, I grew up in an household where my dad traveled a lot and my mom traveled a lot. So my dad was a businessman, my mom was a businesswoman as well. And my dad, no, it's not too much money, please. Too much money, please. I don't want people harassing me. No, it's not too much money. And I watched my dad, and this is sincere. I'm being sincere about this. I'm not even making this up. People that grew up around me, that I grew up around with, knows the story. My dad supported my mom, and my mom supported my dad in whichever capacity that she could. My mom was a businesswoman. My dad did his own thing as well. So what I'm trying to say is, or what we are trying to say is that supporting one another is the best thing to do in a relationship.
It is. Also, it just helps. It helps. It does.
Of course. And also, if you communicate each other's expectation prior to into the
let
relationship.
Us know where you are,
Exactly. And also remember, people do grow.
Yeah.
People do grow. What I want today might not be what I want in the next 5 years.
We all want to grow. You want to grow for your child.
Exactly.
And like you said, communication prior to relationship is a key. It's very important. Like someone like me, raised, by a single mom, like growing up, I feel like the woman in my life.
They're powerful.
Very powerful.
And you look up to them.
So it's just like going into any relationship, that man needs to know that I'm not someone that is ready to settle for little.
Yes, exactly.
I am ready to work because that's what I grew up saying. Mm-hmm. So if you want me to say, oh, be a stay-at-home mom, maybe.
Oh, you know what? Oh, are you?
You know what I mean? So, yeah, like, you know what I'm trying to say. But I feel like women or men, because men are the main topic here. Like, just encourage people.
And also the other bit we have not actually touched base on is women. Some women, and I think this is just a woman thing, and most especially if you're a mom. If you're a mom, we tend to lose ourselves.
Not only mom.
Lot.
Let's not.
No, and hold on. Sorry, hold on.
I'm not gonna let you go. Not only mom, because I feel like some people aren't moms yet, and they do lose themselves.
Of course,
I was gonna say that into that relationship, we get comfortable.
Exactly, that was what I was gonna. Say. You took my point there. Now I don't have anything to say.
But carry on.
Anyway, so what I wanted to say is, being a mom, do you understand?
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. Being a mom, do you understand? And I'm saying this because I'm a mother as well, and you're a mom as well. We tend to lose ourselves. You see, you venture into a relationship. You used to be a very bubbly person. You had a lot of friends, and immediately once you become a mom, you start limiting your circle. And this is because most of the time we project ourselves as our children's role model. Then you're the first person the child knows, so you want to make sure that yes, everything you're doing is the right thing, so that your child can also emulate whatever it is that you're doing. And me, I go by this saying of what I do not want my children doing, you won't see me doing it. Do you understand? Because I want to be able to ask I want to be able to ask the children, look into their eyes and say, why did you do it? But if I am doing it myself, I won't be able to. So that's one of the philosophy I live by.
No, it's true. Because even the kids nowadays, they will tell you that, but you do this, so why don't I do this? Yeah.
So I think as mothers, we lose ourselves a lot. We lose ourselves a lot to the essence that we tend to focus more on the children. Do you understand? We focus more on the children, and then it gets to a point whereby the things we love to do prior to being a mom, we just let go.
With and
at some point this can also lead to depression. But depression is a very big topic on its own. It's somewhat used to depression. You lose yourself first, you then get depressed, and then all you do is you drop the children at school. You feed the children at home, you make sure they are well taken care of, you drop them at school, you come back home. You don't even have a clear brain to even say, you know what, let me take a pen and a paper and see, maybe I'll be able to do this. Do you understand? Yeah. So as mothers, naturally, exactly, and I think naturally as mothers, it's just the motherhood instincts. You just naturally do it subconsciously. You just do it.
That's what I meant. That some men at the beginning of
they get comfortable with that. They get comfortable,
and it's like unconsciously they just expect, because even ladies, in a way, it's just, what do you call it, traditional gender roles, that as a lady we take a step back and we look after our child.
We look after the children.
God forbid, if anything, if the school calls,
you'll be the first person to watch them.
And if you don't, you'll feel that
you feel guilty. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just the mother.
Which honestly, there's nothing wrong.
Because obviously, as a mother, you're more closer. Yeah, as a mother, you're more closer.
Yeah, I think we just have that nurturing.
That nurturing thing in us. You are more closer to the child. So if the school calls up and says, bill case, even if the school calls you and calls your partner, you're still going to tell your partner and say, you know what, I'm going to go.
I'll go.
As a mother, because when you get there, you want to be like, is my child okay? Do you understand? But as compared, a man will just go to school and be like, okay, I'm just going to pick him up and go. But if you go, you're going to ask all the necessary questions like, what happened?
How did that happen?
Exactly.
Because we have that natural
but
because of that, we should not let our potentials but that's if people have potentials. Remember,
I know you did said some people do not have goals. But I'm very sorry. After thinking, I think
you think everyone does?
I think
everyone do. I'm thinking for experience here.
I think living itself is a goal. Being alive itself is a goal.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I'm not talking.
But if you're talking about career
goal, or just being
I would agree.
Some people don't. They don't know what they want.
Of course, they do. And
there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong.
And there's something that can be wrong though. I can't be asking. I want to go and get pad. Can you give me money?
Of course.
Or like just that contentment of
fulfillment. They're just okay where they are. They do not want to. They want to be a mother
and just want to be a wife.
And that's it.
Nothing
wrong.
There's
absolutely nothing wrong in that, to be honest. There's absolutely nothing wrong in... Don't get us wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong in saying, you know what, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And I would say this. A big kudos to stay-at-home moms anyway.
Yeah,
I feel like looking after children alone,
especially during holidays,
it's a full-time job on its own, and both of us were mothers as well.
Especially
so
during annual leaves, not annual leave, like half-term break or school break.
Being at home itself is a full-time job. But what we are saying is that men should not stop women from pursuing further, from wanting to achieve more, from wanting to set goals for themselves. No. Please don't do it. And we would say this to our men. Please, especially if you are African, we're African, and that's why I'm saying this. Especially if you're African and you're a man, please, if your partner wants to go in pursuit of maybe a new career or wants to start a business, or it doesn't have to be something big. It doesn't have to be something little. Whatever it is
could be, I want to start threading.
Exactly. Whatever it is that your partner wants to go in pursuit of, please be that supporting partner. And also, because I know some people say, "Oh, you guys are partial. We only spoke about the men." There are some women that actually do this as well.
I said, but there are women
that actually set.
They don't want better for their men only because of they're scared.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's why men do it as well. They're scared.
Yeah.
That if this girl start aiming high, I have chance. The likelihood of losing her is high because she might start relating with people or see that I'm not good enough.
With people,
do you get it? I'm not good enough. It's always caliber. Everything comes from within. Within. I'm scared of if this guy start aiming. If he's a bus driver now, and all of a sudden he's a doctor, and the lady. They were both.
He's going to start seeing more patients.
You know what I mean? Or let's say the lady, they're both I don't know, bus driver, and now he's a doctor.
Yeah.
She might think
it's gonna have more patients.
We might not have things to talk about. It might say a nurse that is very nice. You know that I think something it just comes from threats, and I feel like that's why people do it. Not that it's right or it's right, whatever it is people are doing, but I do get. To an extent, it can be a threat.
Yeah.
And the more money you get, the more.
Yeah, I think this applies to some set of.
It gets into the men's head as well. Yeah. This I talking to other girls. Exactly. I have arrived.
Yeah, exactly. And this is another thing here again. Knowing who you are as an individual just matters a lot. And this is why I say this. People grow, but you need to understand that there's something that is actually encouraging the growth. So if you have less access to money before and now you have easy access to money, this might change you as an individual. So for example, just like you said, if there are two people, sorry about that, if there are two people and they were both bus driver, the man and the woman, they were both bus driver, and now they're both, the woman is happy, the man is happy as well. However, the man now said, you know what, I'm gonna do. It might not even become a doctor. The man, not even a train driver now. The man might take up a managerial role with TFL. Now he's based in the office, or maybe he's the one securing deals here and there. And now he has more access to new set of friends. He's networking with new people. He's talking with people of different caliber and so on. Now, the man might lose his personality as a result of that exposure.
Of course.
Do you understand? And this is the example you're giving, and this is why the woman might be like, oh, do you understand? Yeah. Like, this is where it might become a problem in the relationship. Yeah. The woman might now start thinking that, okay, before we were both bus drivers, everything was all right, but now we're having problem in the relationship. Now that you've secured a managerial role, you're not talking to more women, or you're not meeting more people. So it's a bit of a both.
You know what? To be honest, is that just carry on. We should just carry on growing.
Grow and support one another.
No one should support one another. Just know that whoever you're venturing in, whoever you're going into a relationship, I keep using the word venturing like I'm buying something. Whoever you're going into the relationship with, they're open to change.
Yeah, exactly.
Because anything happens.
And not everyone can handle growth as well. And I think this is one of the biggest problems that some men have.
And I think that's why some people just set the pressure that you're not allowed to do certain things. You're not allowed to have more than XY amount of friends. Because we do know that some men or some ladies would say, oh, you're not allowed to walk with that girl, you're not allowed to be friends with that girl because of one.
Because some people cannot handle growth.
And they can't handle change at all, which is very bad. But I'm working on myself. I feel like I'm struggling. I struggle with change as well, but now it's something I'm learning. I think
we all struggle with change. To be honest, we all struggle with change because once you're comfortable, which means you have a pattern. And now you're venturing into something new. Of course, it might be challenging. It will be challenging.
It's just communicating wherever it is you're going through with your person. That this is how I'm feeling, or even like in that example of the bus driver and the managerial role, it's like you know you're becoming, maybe it's even free joke. You know that you're a manager now, or don't let us go, don't let me go. You know that kind of thing. Like you just tear it up.
It should
even look for another job in that way.
Exactly. I was gonna say that. It should even be the man who now has more access to various networks. It should not be the one saying, okay, my wife, you know what? Hold on, my wife. You shouldn't impose it. It should be my wife. You know what?
Maybe
you've been a bus driver for a while, just like I've been a bus driver before as well. What do you think? There's a position that is about to open in my office. What do you think about it? Would you like to venture into it? Is there any support I can give you? Okay, you know what? Let me even help you prep for the interview. Understand? Yeah. The man should support, but don't now say, "Oh no, me, I'm a manager now. Yeah. You continue to be a bus driver." Yeah. No.
That's not nice. If the lady still wants to be the bus driver for whatever reason,
yeah, if she decides she wants to continue to be a bus driver, there's absolutely nothing wrong.
Just communicate to your partner what your fears are, as opposed to saying don't do it. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. But if you are, like I said, and this is what I would do if I was a man, and I'm speaking on behalf of myself. If my wife was a bus driver and we're both bus driver and I got a managerial role,
yeah,
and I know I have access to more networks, I would ensure that within my capabilities, even when my wife says, you know what, I'm comfortable being a bus driver. If I was a man, I would say, my darling, I want you to work in the office just like I am doing. I would make sure. Hold on. I would push her because I believe that's my role as a man. Yeah, I would motivate her to aim more, because you need to understand that most of the time, what you don't see in you, the person beside you should be able to see. Do you understand? The woman might be saying, "Oh no, I'm comfortable," because maybe she's afraid. I
think that's me sometimes.
She's afraid. Yeah. It's just like if we're friends and I'm like, you're data analyst and I'm a data analyst as well. And I'll be like, oh, Bilkis, someone just told me, my friend just told me that there are 2 positions for managerial, for a manager role for data analytics within NHS. Let's apply for it. And you tell me no. And I'm like, Bilkis, why? And you'd be like, okay, you know what, you're not ready for that yet. Or maybe you have other things you're doing. As your friend, this is not even as your husband now. As your friend, I should be like, Bilkis, you know what, we're going to submit our application. I should push you. Yes, I should support you. I should motivate you. Do you understand? That's what all relationship should be like anyway. So what we're just saying basically is support one another as much as you should. Communicate your expectations of one another, and you should be fine. And also, please, men and women, do not set thresholds for each other in a relationship. And women, please do not limit your potential. Don't lose that of yourself. Try as much as possible to aim high for yourself, and we wish you the best of luck.
And please do show us your support on all our social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and for all our streaming.
So until then, we'd like to say thank you very much for taking your time to listen to us. Until then, we'll see you again. So when we see you,
we say
bye
and have a good week.